Hello, and thank you so much for joining this masterclass. The Smarter team is so excited to be partnering up with Justuno on a series that in this episode will help you build a successful subscription business and build brand affinity through that program. My name is Gabby. I'm the CEO of Smarter. We're a subscription app in the Shopify ecosystem that are helping hundreds of brands, hopefully similar to you, accomplish a successful subscription program for their brand. Today, we'll be going through some of the theories that we have and have since proved out on how to make not just a successful subscription program, but one that helps build brand affinity for you and your consumers. We are super excited to be chatting today, and we'll be focusing on our approach to subscriptions, which is a little bit different to some of the other apps out there because we put the end consumer first. We have built with the end consumer in mind, and the entire app was built with a thesis around what if, rather than subscribe and forget, we can create a program where brands build brand affinity through their most loyal consumers who are, in fact, their members and their subscribers. Today, we'll be going through some of those key steps that we have found to be true in helping brands create that brand affinity. First, we'll be starting off with just showing a couple of examples of brands that we work with. One of which, who has done an amazing job building such a great ecosystem of consumers and advocates, is Graza, a recently launched olive oil company. And I have to say, I highly recommend their products. Super delicious, really high quality. And also, they have a great website. One of the reasons I wanted to highlight Graza today is, other than having a great product, they have a really great product page. And this brings us to the first step in the Smarter method. We have outlined 4 steps that we'll go through today that will help you create a better subscription program. And the first is subscribe. We believe that subscribing is just the first step in creating that long-lasting experience and relationship with your consumer, but it happens also to be the most obvious. So today we'll start off with Graza's product page and then go into some more on the customer experience and how ultimately we grow that brand affinity. Starting off with their product page, we're looking at the combo pack with both olive oils, and a couple of things that I will highlight. One is subscribe and save is the default option on their product pages. And I think you should use this functionality carefully, but a product like Graza, which is really designed to be used and replenished, can really benefit from that, because not only are consumers subscribing because it's a great product and they love the product, but they do receive a discount, which I'll go into in a second, and they receive perks such as the convenience of subscribing. The next thing that I'll highlight is their quantity breaks. I think that they did a really smart job with how they have established pricing. Of course, not everyone needs a 6 set of olive oil that they subscribe to, but some families and households do. And some of you might actually want to start gifting this product to your friends and family, which is another great reason to buy more than one product. So in this case, 1 set is standard pricing. You do save a little bit by subscribing. If you purchase 2 sets, however, you receive free shipping. 3 sets is an additional 15% off with the free shipping. 6 sets is 19% off and free shipping. So as you can see, they're gamifying that process. They're creating a really symbiotic relationship because, of course, the consumer will only buy the products if they need them. They benefit. And then, of course, Graza benefits by selling more of their products and saving on shipping costs by packaging into one box. I will continue on. I think one other thing that I really appreciate about their site, which a lot of our brands have started to implement, is a brief description of what their program entails. How flexible is it? And I think that providing that flexibility and being really upfront about what that process looks like is super, super important. Another example of a site that I absolutely love, could not recommend their products more, is Common Air. And one of the things that Common Air has done is actually put benefits listed on their website. I think this is a great way to be really, really transparent with your consumers and make sure that they know exactly what they're signing up for. It's a really important process in gaining trust with that consumer. Moving on a little bit, that person has now bought a subscription and it's time to manage that subscription program. I'll walk you through some of those concepts, some examples of pages that our brands are using to allow people to manage their subscription in a moment. But really what I want to harp on with this next section is engaging your consumer. This is so at the forefront of what we are building. We believe it is super important to break the status quo of subscribe and forget, a term I'm sure you have heard before. We believe that by engaging that end consumer, you will have a more thoughtful and fruitful relationship long-term, improving AOV, but also LTV and retention stats by having that trust, transparency, and flexibility for that end consumer. So moving on to the account portal, and I'll begin to walk you through what I mean by engagement. Engaging can take place a number of ways. One is outside of this account page. It's through email and SMS. Of course, there are great providers like Klaviyo in the world. Also, we offer in-house communication tools. I think the main thing there is, and the biggest tip I probably have around communicating with your subscribers, is letting them know when an upcoming order is coming up. Because when I receive a product that I have no idea it's shipping even to me, and maybe I need it, maybe I don't, I am a little alarmed that I wasn't notified. So I think that has been a really great learning lesson for a lot of our brands and definitely helps with the trust factor. Outside of just communicating and letting them know that orders are upcoming, you also want to give them the flexibility to change their upcoming orders. By using this page and the variety of themes and offerings that we have at Smarter, our brands have reported a 70% decrease in customer support tickets. And that often is led by the fact that brands are not responsible, and their CS teams, of course, are not responsible for as many tickets. What that translates to is in a more efficient team, less tickets for you to manage, and often happier customers who are now able to manage their subscription on their own. So for example, I can log in really easily, quickly see my upcoming order, which seems to be going out August 12th, 2022. But here I have other functionality that I can take. It's not just informational, but it actually allows me to say, maybe I want to swap my products, one-click swap. Maybe I want to add to my shipment. One bottle wasn't enough. I'm able to add on one-time items or subscribable items. And the thing here that our brands are taking advantage of is the ability to create member-only benefits, which I'll speak to in a moment, as it does lead into our next category of Smarter method. The last thing that I'll harp on here is when we talk about engagement, we also want to make sure that there is that flexibility that really is the reason why a ton of subscribers do subscribe. They want a convenient experience. We want them to have that experience, not just by receiving the delivery, but if they need to skip an order or send one more quickly, if they need to change their delivery address, or if they need to cancel their subscription, they're able to do so easily. And that pretty much wraps up a high level overview of what we mean by consumer engagement. Transitioning over to our next Smarter method principle, which is delighting the consumer. I think that there are, of course, very specific to brand experiences. You know your brand better than anyone else. Of course, the Smarter team is here and help and ready to help in any way. But I think it should be pretty common sense on what products can benefit from the variety of things that I'll speak to just in a moment here. I think one is member-only pricing, member-only benefits, something like Graza, where you do have additional items and it's a great quality product. You can start to think through perhaps an upcoming release and what that means. Do you want your consumers that are subscribing to be able to test your products first? Is that helpful to you in your business? It is helpful in creating that member-only experience, which we've seen a lot of success with through our brands. You can also create member-only pricing. So as a subscriber, I'm receiving an additional, let's just say 10% off any products that I add on. That helps your business improve AOV. It also helps with CAC because you are no longer paying that additional shipping cost. It's shipping with the actual subscription. It also is not considered an additional sale, right? Because it's within that original subscription. There are other key features that I want to speak to. And the nice thing about this portal and the dashboards that we create are that you can add on a variety of products and features, tech stack options to this system. We see a lot of brands taking advantage of rewards. So thinking through, on my 7th order, I'm going to receive, let's just say 10% off my next item or a free product. One that we have seen a ton of success with is brands that are giving birthday gifts. So thinking through, for example, my Sephora membership, where I receive an annual gift just for it being my birthday. Talk about that brand affinity, right? I am now not just loyal to Sephora because they have great products and a diverse offering, but because of the points that I generate and because of the ultimate rewards that I'm receiving. And then a couple of other main aspects that I do want to touch on. Within the account page, you're able to do a slew of things. Really what we want to emphasize here is that you can customize this account page to be on brand for your brand with the experience that is designed for the products that you're selling. Of course, Unreal Snacks, which also, by the way, is incredibly delicious, highly recommend their products. But it is a very different experience than, for example, Common Air's amazing beauty products or a slew of the other verticals that we work with. So really knowing what your product is, who your consumers are, and what will mean the most to them is something definitely we recommend your team thinking through. And for the last topic that we'll go through today, we want to build champions. So how do we take these consumers, not forgetting that they are your most loyal customer? They are the people that are subscribing to your product, auto-enrolling to repaying and paying that product every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. They love your product. They are loyal to Unreal Snacks. They are loyal to Common Air Beauty. They are loyal to Graza Olive Oil. How do we get those people to not just continue buying your product, but buying more, gifting the product, and championing it so that your friends and family are now using that product? And what that is ultimately referrals. We want your consumers to have such a great experience, also layering on an ease of referrals so that they're able to really easily spread the word, whether it's through social or unique links, emails. We want them to be able to share and hopefully benefit from that referral. So often we see brands taking advantage of, for example, get 10, give 10, right? $10 off to your friend that you refer the product to when they purchase, and then you receive $10 credit. There are so many great ways that you can take advantage of the referral system. Another way that we hope will help your business continue to thrive with recurring subscriptions. Through these theses that have been proved out over the last year, and so many more that we don't have a chance to run through today, our brands have seen a double subscription growth within the first 90 days of using Smarter. And as I mentioned before, 70% decrease in customer support tickets. The Smarter team is here, happy to help answer any questions, go through your subscription business and how we can help, but also just strategize and say, here are some of the tips that we recommend. So please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here anytime. Thank you so much to the Justuno team. Thrilled to be talking to you all today. Have a great rest of the day and talk again soon. Bye.